So we are fighting America and their sanctions, utilizing their system.
Yeah.
And we're only doing it because we have no other option. We have no other option because we don't have a military to beat them into submission.
Russia.
We cannot. The Russians have got their own problems.
No, sorry. What people don't understand. So Robert Mugabe, at some point, people are saying he must be taken to the International Criminal Court. Some people are called dictators. Some countries are sanctioned. You've got situations like Muammar Gaddafi, who was assassinated, Bin Laden, etc. When America bombs other nations, what's happening in Somalia currently, what's happening in other parts of the world, constantly by American military groups, no one ever takes a George Bush, a Barack Obama to the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity. Iraq, Afghanistan, they can show tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people murdered, innocent people. No one is saying, take them to the ICC at all. And the reason is because they have weapons. Vladimir Putin, if he was a South Africa and he was Cyril, they would have arrested him, there would have been assassinations, but it's because of what you're saying. He has the military power. Kim Jong-un, called a dictator and whatever, it's because he's got the military power to be like, I'm not going to go and negotiate and beg, going back to the systems. I'm not going to go to the UN and be like, no, but Ukraine has got some of our land. Let's debate. Let's have a referendum. Let's vote. Putin is like, this is our land. And he's doing exactly what the Americans do, except obviously the Americans are never wrong and it's always everyone else. So sorry, you were speaking about we don't have the military power.
Yes.
Otherwise, we do things differently.
We don't have the military power to beat them into submission. However, that doesn't mean you don't have other angles and other pressure points that you can play with. The Americans only maintain their legitimacy in the world and in the eyes of the world to maintain their democratic system by the semblance of having a rule of law, systems, institutions that they respect.
Yeah.
And that is what it is that gives them their position in the world.
Not the fact that they have a huge army.
No. The army works. But for people to follow them, for people to then be able to submit themselves to the system, they can't bomb everybody to smithereens because then the economic system wouldn't work. Capitalism wouldn't work. They need markets. They need markets. So,
they do need markets.
So the way that they do it is they create a system of legitimacy.
Sure.
So they co-opt the Europeans, they co-opt the Asians, they create institutions like the UN, World Trade Organization, they create treaties. And then these give a semblance of a system controlled by ingenuity, by innovation, by rule of law. And then that gives them the legitimacy for people to follow them without fighting them and continuing to be a perpetual cycle of world wars, because that's what would happen if there was nothing else holding the system except the military power of the Americans.